So I just wanted to talk about some of the ways that an environment can change how you think, how you behave, and how you act. Just recently I got my first ever apartment that I've been able to rent myself that I'm actually happy with and proud of. It's made me think about a lot of the things like, what is it that prevented me from doing something like this before, and then how am I able to do it now? Basically before, my mindset was, if I just save as much money as humanly possible and have no living expenses, I can live for free. But the only problem with living for free is that you don't live comfortably. You have to sacrifice. You have to live in a bus and shower, at friends' houses or shower at the gym, which is okay for a little while. And if you're really into that and like that's your goal that you set, that you want to like travel the world or something. But for me, it was like I was doing it out of fear. I was doing it because I didn't think that I could make that money. Also, the benefits of like basically doing something differently so that you break or challenge a different belief that you already have is that once you challenge that belief, like there's no going back. It's just about like making your environment reflect on your goals, like making your environment in alignment with your goals. So like my goal is to become a life coach and to be the best version of myself and be rich and like never have to worry about money ever again. Whereas before, it was just to scrape by and like save as much money as humanly possible. So with this, now like I'm setting up my environment the way that I want to set my environment up. I've got a pull-up bar, like I said, I've got the bench, all the weights. I've got notepads everywhere so I can write notes. Like it's like the environment is now aiding in my progression. So if you're in a toxic environment, if you're in a place where like you don't like how people treat you, you're with shitty roommates, or maybe you're living in a van or something like that, just like consider for a second the effect that has and like the limitation that has on your progress on a long-term scale. And maybe you can't necessarily just jump ship and like, go to a different place or something like that. You can't do something that extreme, but you can definitely do things instantly that are already in your environment that will change it as well. So like the last place that I was at, the dishes were always dirty, so my dish, like I would always make sure that I did my dish and I always made sure that like I was tidy and I was clean, because that in itself has an effect on like everyone in the space, if that makes sense. So if you can just do small things that aid in your environment becoming something that makes you happy, you can be happier. It's like happiness isn't just like you wake up one day and you're happy, or you like achieve this goal and then you're happy. It's like small little things that progress towards you ultimately being happy. So for me, like it's taken me 4 or 5 years to finally like, now I'm in a place that like I truly enjoy and I can see myself being for a number of years. Whereas if I would have just made this decision 4 years ago, where would I be now? Do you know what I mean? Like if I would have made this same decision 4 years ago to move into my own place that I really enjoyed and spend way more money than I thought was possible, then how would I be living today? Like I would have had to have grown because of the thing that I did, because of the decision that I made. At least now I'm grateful that I've made this decision, and I look forward to the next like 4 years, and I think the progression will be a lot more extreme than the last 4 years, basically, of just going like up and down a little bit and not making a lot of progress, smoking, not smoking, like that, like up and down, versus having something that basically like aligns my goals, like I said, and now I'm just on this trajectory. And like, it's going to be a bumpy ride, but it's not going to be as bumpy because like, for one, your environment has such a role and impact on how you feel day to day, and how much you're going to work, and how much progress you're going to make, and how, ambitious you are to work towards your goals. Like up to this date, I've still been smoking weed, and it's like been the one thing that's really like stunted my progress, because I'm waking up in the morning feeling extremely tired and like unmotivated. But I already feel like I'm waking up earlier. It's like you don't have to just like be that guy that like wakes up at 5 a.m. and like you completely change everything. For me, like I'm waking up earlier, I'm working out now because I've got a gym in my house basically. And I wake up, go on the pull-up bar, do a couple reps, and like that progression versus what I was doing before, which is sleeping until like 12 or 1, you gotta like give yourself credit for when you do small things that you might think are small, but like if you think about how they're aiding in you progressing, it's a pretty big step. Like going from sleeping in till 1 o'clock in the morning to actually getting up and basically working out. I mean, I'm not doing a heck of a lot of reps, but like I'm progressing towards my goal. You know what I mean? So like if you don't have a goal, then you have nothing to aim towards. That's obviously going to be a problem, right? And if you don't have a goal, you do have a goal, you just don't know what the goal is. The goal is deep down in your subconscious, and you said like, this is kind of what I'm okay with or what my life is going to be. So that's the goal you're constantly trying to work towards, whether you know it or not. So for me, I think it's more powerful to be conscious about the goal that you want. So like when I picked being a life coach, it's like, it's not like exactly what I think I know I should do, but I know it will make me a good person and an incredible person and a kind and caring, loving person. So like I just picked a goal that I knew is based on the traits of who I want to become. So like now that I have that goal, I can work towards it, and I know I'm going to eventually in the future progress to a point where I'm really good at that. Doesn't mean that I'm there now or I'm going to get there shortly, you know, or in like a couple of weeks or something, but in a couple of weeks I'm probably going to be pretty, you know, different from what I was a couple of weeks ago, right? Like I'm making small progress, but as long as you're making progress and you know, like I said, it's linked to a goal, then you know where you're going to end up. But if you're just kind of making progress blindly, or like you go work out because you think you have to, you're not really making progress towards a goal, and you're probably going to end up not working out consistently or as much as you should, or you'll fall off, and then you'll be like, and you won't really want to go again. But for me, like I'm okay with only working out a couple days a week because my goal is ultimately like long-term health and longevity. So I know if I'm just working out a little bit, that's a lot better than nothing. And in fact, you still get a lot of the benefits. So like 2 to 3 times a week working out, you're going to be healthy. That's just the way it is, right? So that's basically everything. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of value and knowledge, and hopefully, you know, you can start to see my progress as I start to grow and grow along with me and get, you know, all of these lessons for free without having to go through the shit that I'm going to have to go through and learn the stuff I'm going to have to learn in order to make this business work. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.